Hello, this is Matt on the MoneyGram channel. Happy Valentine's Day, all. I tell you what, I'm flattered. It's Valentine's Day and you want to come spend it with me? Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be an especially sensual edition of on the MoneyGram channel here, so go ahead, pour yourself a glass of red wine, sit back and relax, and baby girl, just hush your lips. Let MoneyGram will take care of everything up in here. So what are we going to be talking about today? Ripple's XRP remittance network, now live in 25 countries across the globe. Well, here's the thing. The headline's perfectly fine, seemingly. However, what they talk about in here, and I'll get to the meat of it, is they're talking about XRP and specifically on-demand liquidity being live today in 25 countries. Could that be right? So we're going to delve into that. Another thing I want to share with you, and I'm sure some of you have come across this, all the banks are broke. Speech goes viral on crypto Twitter. And I remember seeing this at some point in my Twitter feed within the last couple weeks. It was all over the place at one point, and for understandable reasons. It's a powerful speech and explains an issue that probably many people are not aware of, and explains it in easy to understand terms. So I'm going to be running through this just because I find it quite genuinely fascinating. But all right, let's go ahead and get into this especially romantic edition, this especially romantic video of the MoneyGram channel here on Valentine's Day. Again, so flattered you want to spend it with me. Before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, you done came to the right spot, son. Go ahead and subscribe to the MoneyGram channel, because you ain't got nothing better to do. You're here on Valentine's Day with MoneyGram. Just subscribe. Come on, man. Take a look at this. Shout out to Mozan XRP Hulk, who shared this image here and ended up tagging me, so I do appreciate this. And it's pretty funny. I've seen memes like these before here. And it's a comic picture of Batman and Robin. And so Robin says here, I just bought some Ripple. And there's Batman slapping Robin, and he says, it's XRP. And so I can understand. So Mozan XRP Hulk here tagged me, wrote, thought of you when I seen this. Well, for understandable reasons. I tell you what, it is definitely one of my pet peeves when people conflate Ripple and XRP. They're two very different things. So anyway, I just thought I'd highlight that. But let's go ahead and jump in here. Ripple's XRP remittance network now live in 25 countries across the globe. Part of what they're citing comes from this piece from Ripple. And what was this titled? Quick Guide to RippleNet here. And so part of this I'd actually cited the other day, kind of in passing. It wasn't the thrust of whatever video I was reporting in, but I wanted to mention it. So take a look at this. The cross-border payment company Ripple has released an overview on the state of its network, including new details on its XRP remittance platform. The company says its network of banks and financial institutions now spans 70 countries, and on average, a new country is added to the list every week. And so, of course, that was worth mentioning for sure, and I did. It highlights notable growth right here. I mean, come on, one new country per week? As Alex Cobb pointed out on his website, thexrpdaily.com, which is the piece that I covered, that means inside of like a couple years or so, they'd be in every single country on the planet. So check out this, though. This is the part that got my attention, and I'm questioning the accuracy of this. But it does come from Daily Hodl, which I'll tell you, as far as crypto media goes, dailyhodl.com is well known and I'd say generally respected. I don't think that they're not overtly anti-Ripple and XRP on top of that. And there's nothing bad said here. I'm just questioning the accuracy of this. And so here's what they wrote. In addition, Ripple says its XRP-based remittance platform, on-demand liquidity, is growing. Now, in that sentence, they linked to this piece, Quick Guide to RippleNet. In the sentence immediately following this, they said, companies that choose to use the digital asset XRP to move money can do so in the 25 countries listed below. And so obviously that caught my attention. That's the most important sentence of this whole thing. Companies that choose to use the digital asset XRP to move money can do so in the 25 countries listed below. Okay, well, how the hell is that possible? I don't think it is. I'm thinking this is incorrect unless there's some sort of misunderstanding or they wrote it in a way that is, they meant for it to be interpreted in some other way. I don't know. There has to be something else to this because consider this. There are only 6 cryptocurrency exchanges publicly known to be partnered with Ripple utilizing on-demand liquidity. And so there's not even access in 25 corridors, so far as I know. I mean, they cited some that are obviously are active, like United States, United Kingdom, Mexico, Philippines. But some of these, there are no liquidity hubs. So how could on-demand liquidity be active there? And how does Daily Hodl know about it first? And so that's why the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I have to mention this for sure. It's in the news here, but I am highly skeptical of the accuracy of this, and I would love to know what the mistake was made. That's how confident I feel that this just doesn't make any damn sense here. And on top of that, so I thought, okay, well, if this is accurate, there must be something included in this piece that they linked to from Ripple's website called Quick Guide to RippleNet, because they referenced it in the sentence immediately preceding that statement, and no, it is not in there. I did Control F, and you can highlight and you can search for on-demand liquidity. I think it's mentioned like once here. Let me take a look again. On-demand. Yeah, there you go. It's mentioned once in this whole piece. How RippleNet works. With a single connection, access the best blockchain technology for global payments, payout capabilities in 40-plus countries, on-demand liquidity as an alternative to pre-funding, and operational consistency through a common rulebook. But you can type in these other countries here. You know, I only tried a couple of them, but like here, let's see if Croatia here. Croatia is. Yeah, Croatia's not in there. You could try, I don't know, Sweden's in there. So look, it's not even covered in this piece is the point. And that's, again, what they linked to immediately preceding that sentence. So where the hell did they get this list? I don't know. If I'm actually missing something, though, please let me know so I can, set the record straight. But I don't think I am. I really don't think I am. But then the piece continues here. Ripple rolled out its XRP remittance product for commercial use in October 2018. And last year, Ripple partnered with payments giant MoneyGram and bought a $50 million stake in the company. MoneyGram quickly became the largest and most high-profile user of XRP. And the payments giant says it has now sent $100 million in total volume through on-demand liquidity, which is really a cool milestone. And for those of you that had missed this, I'll briefly mention this. Now, this was from December 19th of 2019. This is another piece from Daily Hodl. MoneyGram CEO Alexander Holmes says the payments giant has now sent $100 million in total volume through Ripple's XRP-based payment solution on-demand liquidity. Holmes revealed the $1 million milestone in part 2 of an interview with CNN. And here's the quote. "We went live with Ripple at the end of July. Since then, on a cumulative basis, we just the other day surpassed $100 million in total volume that we pushed through the platform." And then, according to Holmes, MoneyGram plans to expand its use of the liquidity solution. So, awesome stuff here. And then they do say this, and I'll mention this too, but then I'm going to move on. But there's a catch. In order to expand the platform and introduce new corridors, Holmes says Ripple will have to bring new clients on board and boost the volume to ensure that there's actually enough liquidity, which I think is a fair point. It's a fair critique. There's not enough liquidity in XRP, and specifically in the corridors that already are active, to just kind of max this out. You can't. That's why I've always said there is no switch flipping. Okay, a lot of people say we need to flip the switch, and then XRP can just be used the world over, and you no longer need Nostrovostra accounts instantaneously. No, this all has to be built out, but that's okay. That's how this is going to be done by design. All right, last piece here. And you will find this interesting, even though it's not specifically about Ripple or XRP. All banks are broke speech goes viral on crypto Twitter. This is also from dailyhodl.com. A passionate 2-minute speech delivered by Godfrey Bloom, a member of the European Parliament from 2004 to 2014, is spreading through crypto Twitter like wildfire. The 2013 speech is a shakedown on the global financial system. During the presentation, Bloom declares that all the banks are broke. At the time, on May 21st, 2013, Bitcoin was trading at $122 and remained a fringe asset among techies and cypherpunks. It would take the remainder of the decade to transform Bitcoin, now trading above $10,000, into the best performing asset of the last 10 years, attracting legacy giants like Fidelity and Intercontinental Exchange that are putting their full weight behind blockchain-based infrastructure. During that same period, numerous banks, including Deutsche Bank and Danske Bank, if I'm saying that right, probably not, have been embroiled in multi-billion-dollar money laundering scandals and consumer fraud. Wells Fargo, after the collapse of a scheme that to create bogus customer accounts, is now restructuring its business and investing in crypto innovation. Negative interest rates quantitative easing, ballooning deficits, and multi-trillion-dollar government budget proposals remain the cornerstones of monetary policy against deflationary fiat currencies. Now, Bloom remarked, and check out, this is the quote from the video. This is the money part right here. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for too long. To add to that problem, you have moral hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. Most of the problems start in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system. We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name, the artificial printing of money, which, if any ordinary person did, they'd go to prison for a very long time, and yet governments and central banks do it all the time. Pretty powerful stuff there. And I don't think many people realize what he stated there, especially about what he said about fractional reserve banking, which means banks are lending money that they don't actually have. And I'll tell you what, my personal opinion is that as far as quantitative easing, which is printing money, it is tantamount to theft. Or if you want to be kinder, you could say it's tantamount to taxation. More money chasing the same amount of goods. I mean, come on. It's weakening. The dollars that you have are being weakened as a result of this printing of money. There's just more of it. And so they do that instead of just taxing you more outright. But it's effectively the same damn thing. You can't buy as much stuff as you otherwise could have. Even if you, in theory, have the same quantity of money, buying power diminished. Sorry, man. But anyway, that is it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!